One bucket, 5 minutes of setup, 48 hours later, you've got twice as much protein as you started with. I'm talking about duckweed, specifically a tiny species called wolffia that's smaller than a grain of rice. NASA calls it the most protein-dense plant on Earth. Thai families have been harvesting it for centuries, and you can grow it in any container that holds water. No soil, no weeding, no waiting months for harvest. Welcome to Golden Vault Garden. Today, I'm showing you exactly how to set this up and why almost nobody in the West knows about it. Duckweed is the smallest flowering plant in the world. Some species are barely visible to the naked eye. You could fit dozens on your fingernail. It floats on the surface of still water, and most species don't even have visible roots. In northern Thailand, they call wolffia kai nam, eggs of the water. Families harvest it from buckets and ponds, then toss it into omelets and soups. It's been a protein staple there for centuries. Here's what makes it remarkable. It contains 20 to 45% protein by dry weight. That's higher than beef at 26%, eggs at 13%, and rivals soybeans at 36%. A 2024 study found one species hit 45% crude protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids, which means nutritionally it's a complete protein. The protein inside is mostly rubisco, the most abundant protein on Earth, the same molecule that makes plants convert sunlight into food. The taste surprises everyone. Mild, slightly nutty, clean tasting. Fresh, it has a soft, almost silky texture. You can eat it raw in salads or blend it into smoothies. Dried and powdered, it becomes a protein supplement that beats most things in your pantry. Here's where duckweed gets absurd. Under good conditions, it doubles its biomass every 48 to 72 hours. Some species double in as little as 16 hours. A 2025 paper called it one of the fastest reproducing organisms on the planet. Day 1, you place a thin layer on still water. Day 3, you've got a carpet so thick you can't see the water beneath. Day 5, you scoop out handfuls and the bucket looks exactly as full as before. Compare that to anything else. Soybeans need 90 days minimum. Beef cattle need 18 months to reach slaughter weight. Duckweed doubles before you remember to water your houseplants. A 2024 study showed duckweed produces 2,080 kilograms of protein per hectare per year. Soy produces 303. Corn produces 179. That's 7 times more protein than soy, 10 times more than corn. Under optimal greenhouse conditions, researchers achieved 10 to 18 tons of protein per hectare per year from duckweed. Soy in the same conditions produces 0.6 to 1.2 tons. The environmental impact is striking too. Duckweed produces 0.4 kilograms of CO2 equivalent per kilogram. Beef produces 27 kilograms. That's nearly 70 times the impact, and duckweed needs no tractors, pesticides, or cropland. NASA has been testing duckweed since 1966. They flew it on early satellites alongside chlorella algae. When they started looking for food to grow on space stations, they tested lettuce, soybeans, wheat, potatoes. Duckweed outperformed all of them. It grows fast in small spaces with minimal inputs. It thrives under artificial light at half the intensity of normal sunlight. It produces antioxidants like zeaxanthin and lutein that help fight radiation damage. Research published in 2024 showed that just 600 grams of fresh wolffia could meet an adult astronaut's daily protein needs. The same plant a Thai grandmother harvests from a wooden bucket now feeds astronauts in orbit. So why isn't everyone growing this? First, it looks like pond scum. Western agriculture values visual appeal. Nobody's taking Instagram photos of tiny green dots floating on water. Second, it can't be patented in its natural form. It reproduces by splitting in half. No seeds to sell, no specialized equipment needed. Every middleman in industrial agriculture loses money when you grow protein in a bucket. Third, it's too simple. The industrial food system thrives on complexity, long supply chains, processing plants. A plant that grows itself in any container doesn't fit that model. Dr. Wayne Armstrong at California State University found Wolfia growing wild within miles of major American universities. It's been floating in American ponds this whole time, completely unnoticed. Here's exactly how to grow it. Container. Use any container that holds water. A 5-gallon bucket, plastic storage bin, kiddie pool, even a glass baking dish. Choose shallow and wide over deep and narrow. Duckweed only grows on the surface. 3 inches of water depth is plenty. Water. Dechlorinated tap water works fine. Let it sit overnight in an open container so chlorine evaporates, or add a water conditioner from any pet store. Rainwater is even better. Pond water is ideal if you have access. pH should be between 6 and 7.5. Most tap water already falls in this range. Nutrients. If you have a fish tank, use that water when you do water changes. The nitrogen from fish waste is exactly what duckweed needs. No fish tank? Dilute any balanced liquid fertilizer to 1/5 the strength on the label. A few drops of aquarium plant food each week works too. Even a decaying leaf in the water provides enough nutrients to start. The duckweed. Check local ponds, order it online, or ask a friend with an aquarium. You don't need much. 1 tablespoon is enough to start an entire bucket. Start with enough to cover 10 to 20% of your water surface. Placement. Put your container where it gets bright, indirect light for at least 6 hours a day. A sunny window works, a shaded patio works. Direct hot sun all day can overheat the water, but duckweed tolerates more variation than you'd expect. Temperature between 60 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. Room temperature is perfect. That's it. Walk away. 48 to 72 hours later, the coverage will have doubled. By day 5, you can start harvesting. Use a small net or kitchen strainer. Skim about half the surface. Leave the other half to keep growing. Rinse the harvested plants under clean water. Pat dry. Use them fresh in salads or smoothies. Add them to soups right before serving. Or dry them for storage. Spread thin on a tray or use a food dehydrator. Once dry, grind into powder for homemade protein powder. Critical warning. Never dump duckweed into natural waterways. It can become invasive. Compost any excess, feed it to chickens, give it to fish, or add it to livestock feed. The aquaponics community has been using this for years. Tilapia farmers cut feed costs by 50%. Backyard chicken keepers report deeper orange egg yolks within weeks. Homesteaders in Arizona grow more protein in a 50-gallon tote than their neighbors grow on 2 acres of alfalfa. Companies are catching on now. Parable USA developed a protein ingredient called lentane. Hinaman in Israel sells Wolfia as a superfood supplement called Mankai. What grandmothers harvested for free now commands premium prices in health food stores. But you don't need to buy it. You don't need permission from anyone. You don't need acreage or expensive equipment. You need a bucket, some water, and 5 minutes. That's protein independence. That's what Golden Vault Garden is all about. Growing things that actually matter, that give you real food security. If you want more projects like this, subscribe. I've got plenty more where this came from. Thanks for watching.